Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another review of the Oval. Now, I usually get this done the morning after the show, and I apologize for it being late. Um, I did my video yesterday, but the camera was flipped the wrong way, and the video came out wrong, and I did not want to post the review like that, but I didn't have time to do it again yesterday. So here it is now. Let's get started. So Lily had to contend with crazy, jealous Kyle. And he's going on and on and on, just ranting, oh, well, I love Donald. And Lily just laughs. She's like, and it really is laughable because Kyle does love Donald, but Donald does not love him back. Donald has said that he loves Lily, and I think that he does love her in his own weird way. And that's what has Kyle so triggered why he wants to kill Lily. It's like, well, I need to get her out of the picture because then maybe Donald will love me, but that's obviously not going to happen because Donald is just using Kyle, regardless of if Lily is in the picture or not. So he's saying, well, you knew he was gay, you only slept with him like 3 times. And Lily finally comes up with a reason for why she was digging in those papers, and she says, "Well, I was looking for my marriage license." Um, but Kyle doesn't really buy it. He's still threatening her, and she finally pulls out a gun. And it's like, I'm not going to tell you again to leave this house. Excuse me. And he finally leaves, but not before saying that her designs are terrible and that Donald has talked about them too. So, yeah. So he's really jealous. So Max and Bobby are outside in the car, and of course Bobby wants to go in because he's super worried, and Max is like, "No, that's not a good idea." Their phones are scrambled, so whatever Kyle did, it scrambled all the phones in the vicinity of Donald's house. So um, all they could really do was wait it out because Max was saying there were other people around there, Secret Service, and it was best to wait it out. Sorry, keep clearing my throat. So at the White House, Victoria wants Hunter to apologize to Richard, and it's been so long since Richard was since all that transpired with Richard, it was like I almost forgot what happened and all of that, and it's like okay, and it was like okay, so that just now came back up, okay. And Hunter issues this half-hearted apology, and and I guess Richard was like pleased with it. Well, it seemed like he was pleased with it when he talks to Priscilla later, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Um, and so Jason is at the table, and he has the nerve to have some kind of attitude. It's like you've killed 3 people. Well, yeah, you can't have an attitude. You're a murderer. You can't be superior or anything. So after Richard is gone, Victoria she asks Jason, "Do you want to kill the doctor too?" And he's like, "No, I'm saving my next victim for somebody more notable." And Victoria says, "Well, I'm going to be sleeping with that sword, and I will slice you up." So she has no qualms about killing Jason if she has to. And then she leaves, and Jason asks Hunter, "Do you want me to kill her?" And Hunter's like, "Don't say that. Don't talk like that." And then Jason he stays crazy. Then he asks Hunter, "Do you want to f Dr. Meadows?" And Hunter's like he gives a non-answer. Really, he doesn't really answer. He talks around it. But we do know that he has designs on Dr. Meadows. It was clear from when she first came to the White House. And Jason is just so thankful for them hiring Dr. Meadows. And I don't know why Dr. Meadows even wants to come back to that mess, because it's just not a safe environment. Let me get make sure I have my notes together. Okay, so Victoria isn't even convinced that Jason can be helped. She just doesn't believe it. He just needs to be locked away as far as she's concerned. So Richard, he tells Priscilla, "Oh well, you seem off your game," but she doesn't get into all of that. Um, so he tells her about Hunter's apology, and she warns him about Victoria. Watch her back around her. She's not for us. And then Richard starts to talking about his date with Frida, and Priscilla's chiding him for that, for like, Richard, but he's not trying to hear it. He's trying to go out on this date to get back at Nancy. And Alonzo, he tells Sam about Jean, and he says, well, she never signed out, but her car drove off. And obviously, that was a setup by Hunter, to say, oh, well, her car drove off, so obviously she left. And then they can make it look like she got killed outside of the White House. And Priscilla needed to tell Sam about Jean. Even if she was angry with him, she needed to, separate that and just say, you know what? I can't find Jean. She's not answering her phone. Can you look into that? But clearly she did not separate that, and she should have. So Alan, he's all uncomfortable around Donald, and Donald wants to know why, and Donald just keeps pressing and pressing, and Alan says, oh, I just didn't sleep. And Donald's like, no, lots of people don't get sleep and they don't act like this. And Donald knows exactly why Alan is uncomfortable. I think he was just testing Alan to see if he knows that he needs to keep his mouth shut. And because he was being real menacing. And Donald gives him a phony story about Ellie and Hunter. Well, you know that they're not. There's nothing going on between them. You know that, and Alan's just like, he's trying to just turn the whole conversation off. And then the phone rings, and it's Diane, and she wants to arrange to meet with Donald at the White House because Donald had suggested, like, I think a restaurant or something. She said no, at the White House. And Donald is under the impression that he's going to be able to take her out at the White House because he's like, bring that ass to the White House. And honestly, I don't know which way this will go, but we'll see. I don't know if Diane will get taken out or not, or I'm not sure if she knows what she's doing, but we'll see. So over at Richard's house, Nancy is cooking. Um, and she thinks this is going to win Richard over and get him to forgive her. And Barry's like, he's not going to eat that, Mom. And he tells her, you should just tell him who the father is, who's Picky's father was. And she's like, well, I'm not doing that. And Barry's like, is it somebody that he knows? And clearly that's why Nancy does not want to tell Richard this news. So Barry then does the most productive. Oops. Oh, shoot. I lost my light. Hang on a second. My ring light was plugged into my laptop and it went to sleep. And this is probably the most productive thing that Barry has done in regards to trying to find his daughter. He makes a video, just an honest plea. My daughter was kidnapped by her mother. He shows a picture of Ruth. For once, he was making sense and being sensible and did not look like he was off his rocker. So, Finally, Barry got through an episode without getting into trouble or going off on somebody. So Richard comes home and Nancy's trying to talk to him, and he's just like, she's not there. He's looking everywhere else. Like, he just totally blanked her. And he goes in there and he gets out a suit. And she's like, well, I haven't seen that suit since we renewed our wedding vows. So he really is trying to plunge the knife in and twist it by doing this. So I'm curious to see how Nancy is going to react to all of this, because I don't think she is going to take this lying down. And Barry, he tells her, once again, give Richard some time. So, and this is the one thing that Barry is talking sense about. He's telling her, like, back off, let Dad have some time, but she's not listening. So, over at the pharmacy, um, there was this little scene where Dale was trying to figure out where to go out, nightlife and stuff, and Kareem recommends this bar, and he say, "Oh, there's a lot of women there," and Sharon recommends the gay bar, and Kareem's like, "Well, that's the gay bar," and and so it just it comes out that Dale is gay, and then he also needs somewhere to stay because he's like in between places because he just got to town, and Sharon's like, well, Kareem has lots of vacant rooms. And I'm like, Sharon, why are you saying that? Because it just like was opening up that again for Kareem to ask her to move into his house. Sharon plays a lot of games and all of that. And so Kareem just tells Dale, oh, if you need to somewhere to stay, just let me know. And Kareem gets very rattled when Sam shows up. He's like, I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. And Sam was just there to speak with Dale. And this makes me think that Kareem really is running drugs out of his pharmacy because, I think it was Picky that said that him and Sharon were selling drugs. I don't think Sharon is involved, but I do think that Kareem is running drugs out of there, and probably the drugs that the highest does on Ruthless. So Kareem and Sharon, they have a conversation, and he basically was encouraging her to have an abortion, and she's like, I'm not doing that. And she says, there's adoption, and Kareem's like, you're not gonna do that. Once you see that baby, the baby will be cute even if it has Barry's big ugly head. And I'm like, Kareem is just so childish. So, Kareem ends up giving Sharon his key. And I'm like, you know what? Once again, Sharon is just like, she's told Kareem to leave her alone, but then she brings it back around and she's like, leaving the door open and once again. And I'm like, she could be firm and just say no and mean it, but then she brings it back around and she plays games, and it's like it doesn't make any sense. So to wrap things up, Priscilla goes to see Laura at the hospital, and she's hooked up to the machines and all that, and her husband is there by her bedside, and he's saying, well, she takes heart medication, she has AFib. I know she would not have done anything at work to harm her health. And Laura tries to say something, and Jean's like, wait, it sounds like, not Jean, and Priscilla's like, it sounded like she was going to say something about Jean, so that's how it ended. She was going to getting ready to wake up and say something, but we know that that's not going to really happen because it's a Tyler Perry production. This is going to have to be dragged out for a while, and the information about Jean is probably not going to be known this season. Probably won't be in the next season, and right now we're only in the first half of the second season. So, and I think they've already shot the third season, if I'm not mistaken. But so yeah, so we're not going to we're not going to see any sort of action on Jean's storyline for a while. It's just going to be like teasers and then like pull it back. Well, that was the Oval for this week. Not a whole lot of action this week, but it was an okay episode. So tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you the next time. Bye.